Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video, I'll be telling you why you should at least own one tuner car in Grand Theft Auto 5 Online. In today's video, I'm not only going to be explaining why buying a tuner's car is an extremely good decision, but as well what your top 3 choices of tuner's cars would be. Now, I'm not saying to buy a tuner vehicle because they look cool or they have any specific purpose apart from one reason, and that is the LS Car Meet. Every week, there is a podium car called the Prize Ride. This week we have the Vapid Retinue, last week we had the Ocelot Swinger, the week before that we had the Adder. And to get this vehicle, it's pretty simple. You just have to do the challenges that you get weekly. So for this week, the Vapid Retinue, all you had to do was place top 5 2 days in a row in a Street Series race, which is pretty dang easy. I got my hands on the car, my friends are getting their hands on the car today. It's a very easy way to get a car for free. And it's not like the Vapid Retinue is a very cheap vehicle either. It cost $600,000. The Ocelot Swinger, I think, is around $1 million, and same for the Adder that was sold a week before. Just 3 weeks of free vehicles that you follow the objectives for, and you've already made over $2.5 million worth on vehicles in your garage for free. Now we come to the part that gets a little tricky. Sure, for a cheap vehicle, let's say a $500,000 car, you might only have to finish top 6 2 days in a row or 3 days in a row, which is incredibly easy to do. But not every car is only $600,000, $500,000 on the podium. You might have a car that's $2 million, and you can bet that Rockstar is going to make the car that costs $2 million a much harder challenge. Maybe you'll have to finish second place 2 or even 3 days in a row. And yeah, that's going to be really hard to do if you're using a stock vehicle, especially because everybody else is going to be racing trying to get their hands on the vehicle as well. So this is where the argument comes into play that you should probably get your hands on just one fully upgraded tuner's car. And personally, I think that this is an insanely good investment because, as I said, if there's a $2 million car that goes up on the podium, let's say you invested $1.5 million into a decent racing tuner's car, you fully upgrade it, so in total you've spent $2 million on upgrading and kitting out the car. If you win a single $2 million car from the prize ride, you have now made back all of the money you've invested on a car that you now won't have to buy. Even if it's a vehicle you were never going to buy, it's still a $2 million car that you now can have in your garage, which is pretty sweet. And every week, there is a new car that comes out. Easily, after 3 weeks, no matter what tuner's car you fully upgrade, you will most likely have made a profit back. Which is why I highly suggest to upgrade just one tuner's car to make your chances of winning these races much higher and making you a much competitive racer. So now that I've hopefully convinced you that getting a tuner's car is an incredibly good investment, let's talk about the top 3 tuner's cars that you can buy in GTA Online. We're going to be going off of lap time. Yes, top speed is something that's good, and in the straightaways it can give you a lot of acceleration, but when it comes to Street Series races, there's a lot more cornering than really top speed. So we're going to be going off of the best handling tuner's cars, and that's what I would definitely suggest you should look into buying. Starting off in third place, we have the Calico GTF. This vehicle is on Southern San Andreas Super Auto. It's $1.995 million without the trade price, and if you get a high enough LS Car Meet reputation level, then it's $1.5 million. Still a pretty expensive car, and yeah, it is a very expensive vehicle, but it is having a fantastic lap time of 1 minute 3 seconds, .596. It's the 3rd out of 17 tuners in lap times, and its top speed is 121.3 miles per hour, making it the 4th fastest tuner. So it's a really good vehicle overall when it has good downforce, especially with the spoiler. Lower suspension is really good with this car, so pretty sweet. Personally, I wouldn't suggest to buy the Calico just because the next 2 vehicles are actually cheaper and they have better lap times. In second place, we have the Vector, which I actually really like. It's based off the Lexus RCF in real life. This vehicle sits at a top speed of 115.3 miles per hour and has a lap time of 103.463, as you can see, pretty similar to the Calico GTF. The best part is that it's actually cheaper. Its trade price is $1.33 million, and you'll find it on Legendary Motorsport without the trade price of $1.785 million. So it is a much better price tag, and I will say that it has absolutely amazing handling. Even though this vehicle's top speed is quite a bit slower than the Calico, you can see that its lap time is just multiple times better because of how good its handling is. So what I'll say about the Vector, which I actually do personally own, is that if you're not the best driver, then go for this vehicle because it's got way more handling than all the other cars in this list. And finally, we have the Sultan RS Classic in first place. What I will say is that the lap time on the Sultan RS Classic is 103.397, and the Vector is 103.463. And obviously these lap times are done by professional racers, but I mean, there still is human error. So what I will say is that for the Vector, for the Sultan RS Classic, it's really down to which of these vehicles you personally think looks nicer, because they honestly have basically the same statistics. The Vector is a little slower at 115 miles per hour as a top speed, but the Vector has a bit better handling, which gives it a much better cornering ability, actually keeping it up. When it comes to price tag as well, as we said, the Vector is $1.785 million, and the Sultan RS Classic is $1.789 million. So the price tags of these vehicles are almost identical. That's also the same for the trade price, only being like $3,000 more for the Sultan RS Classic being $1.341 million. So really, when it comes to these two vehicles, I would suggest just which one looks nicest. Even for the Calico, it's still a very similar lap time, and if you do like that increased top speed benefit on the straightaways, then the Calico might be the vehicle for you. Either way, all three of these cars are very good choices, and if you fully upgrade any of them, you'll probably doing very, very well when it comes to racing in GTA Online Tuner Series. But let me know in the comments down below which tuner car you think looks the best, or which one you would want to purchase. Now that we've talked about all the important stuff, before we end off today's video, I do want to bring up how to start these races if you are unfamiliar. So you want to go to the LS Car Meet, and there's two things you want to do. First of all, you can go into your interaction menu, go to LS Car Meet, click on Prize Ride. It'll tell you what you have to do. So what position you have to finish in the race and what type of racing series you have to do. As well, to start these races, there's a dude called the Race Organizer. He's on the higher level. In fact, you can just see me walking to him in the video, but just walk up to that guy, start a race up, it'll load you into lobby with 7 or 8 people, and there you go. That's how simple it is to start the races. So just make sure that if you're doing these challenges to get your hands on the free car weekly, that you keep up to date on them, because they are in a row things. It says 2 days in a row, 3 days in a row. So if you skip one day, you might have to restart it from day one. So make sure you keep that in mind. Either way, hopefully this video helps you out. I feel there are a lot of people out there that aren't truly familiar with the Tuners update and really don't realize how much money they could be saving by getting these cars for free just by investing in one Tuners vehicle. So let me know in the comments down below if you've already been taking advantage of this, or if today's video did help you out. Either way, please do consider smashing that subscribe button down below. And other than that, I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.